What's going on, everyone? Bringing you a hot new video on Shibadoge. Loads of people have asked me to cover this, and I've been digging through it, and there's a couple of things I want to bring to your attention that I have found. So straight off the bat, I am not invested in Shibadoge or Shibadoge. Interesting, that's the thing there, the hashtag. But look, let's talk about it. Let's go through it, and let me show you what I've been seeing. So, come together, created by whales from both Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, which I think is interesting. They've just had their first NFT collection launch, which is sold out. You can see the public sale mint. You have to connect your wallet and all the rest of it. But one of my good followers on the channel is, has already bought some and is sold out. So, kind of what's it about? Well, look, let's look at some tokenomics. There's a humongous supply of tokens, a humongous supply. I don't know if that's a sextillion or quintillion or something like that. 1% max wallet, burn on launch 50%, deflationary, 5% redistribution, 5% locked liquidity, and 5% marketing. It says here buys and sells on centralized exchanges may incur a tax of 15%, similar to Uniswap. And then it just kind of talks around the proposition. So bringing together two mortal enemies for the greater good, two kingdoms, one purpose, see the evolution of currency, evolve from government-controlled monopolies and give back the power to the people. Interestingly, I would say whales are almost in that world of controlled monopolies because they can completely impact the price of a product or a token. The only way that can happen is if the community comes together for the greater good of all mankind. Combined market cap of both currencies of $40 billion with Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, and the short-term goal is to merge 1% of the audience, creating a value of 50,000 holders and a $400 million market cap. And that's kind of it. Talks for the roadmap, or on launch completed, worked through stage 1, pretty much completed other than the return press. Currently through stage 3, Tesla giveaway hasn't happened if you're interested. NFT project is up and running. Top 10 central exchanges on the agenda, $50,000 charity donation. Holder merch. Merch seems like quite a big thing at the minute. Then into stage 3. So fiat payments, 10,000 holders. Tier 1 exchange listing, 100,000 followers, 50,000 Instagram. Crypto.com. People seem to really want to get on Crypto.com. I don't know if they think it's easier to get on that than Binance. And then update on the 12-month roadmap and ambassador onboarding. So a lot of potential, a lot of ambition. When we look at this anti-whale, so whales are limited to 1% of the total available supply and still encourage buying as we attain larger market caps. So what they're saying is that they can hold more than 1%, is how I read that. Auto-deflationary. Shibadoge is an auto-deflationary token that reduces the supply with every buy and sell transaction. This increases value by decreasing supply over time. That's an interesting topic. Remember that. It is auto-deflationary and it reduces the supply when we start looking through some wallets and anti-botting. Talks about how to buy, pretty straightforward. Obviously, all the socials at the bottom, Twitter, Telegram, Discord, and the Medium article, which was basically kind of what it talked about over on realist Shibadoge medium.com. Just exactly what we've been looking at, really. So so that's kind of the web page, again, using that you can go through, but interesting to look at. So let's look at some of the interesting bits. Liquidity, we can see here. They have 18% locked liquidity, 1.5 million in wrapped ETH, and then the tokens from the Shibadoge, and it's locked until the 24th of December 2022. So this year, so a year lock basically. And you see a total value is 1.7 based upon the tokens and the price of the two bits that are locked. So not the biggest amount, I would say, locked, but certainly there's a good chunk locked. They are awaiting their CERTIC audit. That is still under assessment. And then I started looking at the price. Very typical of a token. We saw a huge run up and then we've kind of seen a bit of a sell off. Are some pretty big pretty big buys coming in. I'm going to take a look at some of those. So then I started looking into the kind of total holders. So look, 32,000 holders. So a good amount of holders in there. We can see that 53.42% is burnt. Now, the auto-deflationary mechanism, I would expect to see some kind of movement in here if this is the burn address. So if it's auto-deflationary, you would expect to see burns coming into this wallet, but I'm not seeing it as of yet. Now, whether that's just through the transactions, I'm not sure, but there's no kind of auto burns or burns of any big amount going into there. We can just see the initial burn 43 days ago that came into that. But we also start looking through some of the holders. There is some interesting things that I would just want answering. I'm not saying that, it's a scam or anything like that, but there's just certain things that I would want answering. So we're going to go into the deployer and we're going to filter it by the deployer wallet. And this shows us everything that's been changed in terms of contracts, which I thought was interesting. So you can see a lot of changes on here. So set number of tokens to sell to add to liquidity. So here's my opinion on this. I think they're building liquidity through sales and the transactions that should be getting burned. I think it's been added to liquidity. You can see that on quite a number of separate occasions, that set tokens sell to add to liquidity, set tokens sell to add to liquidity. Now that might just be part of their tokenomics, but again, I'm not seeing any burns going in. And then we also have these interesting things: exclude from limit, which I assume is the 1% limit for whales. When we go into these are some big wallets that are being excluded from this. We can also see that we're adjusting the buy fee, which is fine. But again, where is that buy fee going to? The mint pre-sale, so that's for the NFTs. And then there's a kind of couple of the big wallets. So there's definitely some questions I'd want to ask in terms of these adjustments that are being made. And they're all being made relatively recently on some of these blocks. So I'm curious about that. But then wallets like this one, where 4 days ago, it was, it had a huge amount of tokens bought in, and then over the course has just been selling out. No other transactions in it, just been selling Shibadoge. Now, again, is that in correlation to this price arc? I'm not 100% certain. So again, just one thing you'd want to go away and you'd want to just be really comfortable that you are investing in a project you believe in and that has your best interest. When we take a look at some of these other wallets as well, so that wallet we're looking at is this one, the 16th biggest wallet. We can see some of these are already over 1%, so 1.02, 1.02, 1.02. So we click into this one just under 1%, and we see a very similar pattern where we've got lots of tokens coming in and then lots of kind of tokens going out. Where are they going out? Into this address and then out into Uniswap. So a couple of questions I'd want to ask. Again, this isn't financial advice. I'm not the most sophisticated individual when I look at wallets, but I think this is a very typical pump. Aren't seeing a use case. Liquidity I'd have some questions on because I'm unsure as to where it's going. I'm not seeing burns, but that's just my view of Shibadoge. Be careful when you invest in tokens. I'm not saying this is a scam, but there are definitely some questions I, as an investor, would want to ask before I put my money into this token. But let me know what you think of Shibadoge in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.